What's Maynooth like for cycling? Let's find out. Some people like to get around by bike. I'm not talking about sports cyclists in Lycra. I'm talking about getting to the shops, or the dentist, or kids cycling to school or college. It's also a handy way of getting some exercise. And in many cases, it's also quicker. I'm starting off here in the 50k zone of Maynooth on the Rathcoffey Road. Straight away you can see there is no cycle path, so I'm going to cycle on the footpath because I don't want to die. I'm cycling carefully in case someone pops out from the bushes. The cycle lane starts here, and as you can see there is no ramp up to it. This little sign tells motorists what speed they are driving at. Most people do around 70 or 80 kilometers per hour, and I've seen it over 100 a number of times. Changing the speed limit to 30 isn't going to make any difference. The road is wide and straight with no traffic calming measures, so people will speed. This junction suggests that cyclists should yield, but often decent drivers coming from the left will wait for you to go. But that doesn't mean drivers coming from other directions won't run over you. This is just bad road design. It's good that the cycle lane is shared with the footpath. Painted cycle lanes on the road are useless. There is a bus stop here with yield signs for bikes for some reason. Does that mean we're supposed to go on the road? The cycle lane ends here, and there is a metal barrier designed to make getting on the road as difficult as possible. You sometimes need to press the pedestrian crossing button to stop traffic so you can get onto the road. Maynooth is supposed to be the decarbonisation zone town for County Kildare. We apparently have an active travel plan, but this doesn't feel safe to me, so you can't blame parents for wanting to drive their kids to school every morning. The footpath on the other side is barely wide enough for one person. Look at this jogger on the right, he has to run on the road. Kids who are brave enough to cycle are told to use the footpath by their parents. We now have a footpath on the left, but look how tiny it is. And now the cycle path is back. There is a slight hill here, but Maynooth is a relatively flat town, which is perfect for cycling. This is Bond Bridge. Underneath is the Royal Canal and the Dublin-Sligo train line. There is also a nice greenway which is perfect for walking and cycling, but Maynooth doesn't make very good use of it. This road is wide and straight, so everyone breaks the speed limit. Reducing it to 30 won't help here either, but if people did drive at 30, it would feel a lot safer. Again, the cycle path has come to a sudden end. This road is often backed up on a school morning, so kids end up cycling on the footpath. And as you can see, it's another tiny footpath. This road isn't wide enough for 2 lanes of traffic as well as a line of parking. If 2 people on wheelchairs met here, what would happen? How would they get around each other? These are the ruins of Maynooth Castle on our left. Now this is where it gets weird. This is actually the cycle lane, in the middle of the footpath. And now we have what cyclists call a door lane. This is Mill Street, and apparently it's due for a makeover that should make cycling a lot safer. Now we are coming up to the Manor Mills shopping centre. As it's a modern shopping centre in a decarbonisation zone town, it probably has lots of safe bike parking, right? Well, no. Amazingly, there is also a major secondary school located right here, and this is where the kids get to park their bikes. This is what a school bike park looks like in the Netherlands, by the way, a country which has a similar climate to ours in Ireland, except we have milder winters, and the heat in the Netherlands can be too much in summer. But as you can imagine, Ireland has slightly more rain, but not that much more. On the way home, I had a close call with a car. This happens sometimes, but the vast majority of drivers give plenty of space. So how do other countries solve problems like this? The secret seems to be down to road design. Design infrastructure that removes conflicts between cars and bikes. Bikes and cars should be kept as far apart as possible. So you can understand why many parents don't feel safe letting their kids cycle to school in Maynooth. It's strange, we complain about traffic at school times. We know cycling is good for us and good for our kids. We know that more bikes equals fewer cars, yet we do very little to make it safe for them. A lot of people will say that cyclists don't do themselves any favours. Some of them cycle through red lights, for example. Well, I think any cyclist that does something dangerous should have their bike confiscated and melted down, provided the same thing happens to motorists. Do you think we should make it safe enough for kids to cycle to school in our town? Or should we continue to force people to drive?